Hey guys, how's it going? Connor here today at etrailer.com. We're going to be taking a look at the Hydrastar electric over hydraulic actuator kit for a tandem axle trailer. So our Hydrastar electric over hydraulic actuator kit is going to be an excellent option for our fifth wheel trailer here when we want to convert from electric drum to hydraulic disc brakes. Now what I really like about this kit in particular is that it comes with almost all the components we need to complete our installation. The following components that it includes is going to be the actual actuator itself. It's going to come with all the brake lines we need. It's also going to come with the breakaway switch. The only part that it doesn't come with that we will need is some brake fluid, some obvious tools that we're going to need to complete our installation. We're also going to need the actual disc brakes. So if you don't already have your disc brake kit picked out, we sell these here through eTrailer. Just make sure you get the correct kit based on your axle capacity. For our Jayco Pinnacle here, we have two 7,000-pound axles, so that's what we're going to use to choose the correct disc brake kit. So keep in mind, there are going to be a couple different models of our Hydrastar actuator here. Our particular trailer we're going to be installing disc brakes on, so we need to get the model for disc brakes as opposed to the one for drum brakes. The models with disc brakes are rated for a much higher PSI, which we need for the disc brake calipers, so we need to be sure of this before we purchase. So our electric over hydraulic actuator here is going to be the main part that we need when we're converting our trailer from electric to hydraulic brakes. So I'm sure you're probably wondering why you would want to convert from electric brakes on our trailer to hydraulic brakes. And the reason for this is rather simple. Number one, we're going to get much more powerful braking. It's going to be a lot smoother. We're going to get that bite that we would have when we brake in our tow vehicle. So what I really like about our Hydrastar kit in particular here is it's going to be a lot thinner than some of our other options we have. Now what this thinner design is, it's not going to take up as much space in the trailer. We're not going to have to worry about having a lot of space to mount it. We just have it tucked on the side here over the storage compartment under our loft here, so you can see it's nice and out of the way and we have plenty of other space for the rest of our cargo. So essentially how our actuator works is we're going to receive an input from the tow vehicle, usually by our brake controller, an electric brake controller in particular. So it's going to send a signal to our actuator here, and what that's going to do is it's going to activate the fluid inside here, which is going to apply pressure to our disc brake calipers and apply the piston so it can slow down our trailer. So in regards to installation, this is definitely going to be something you can do at home by yourself. We don't need any special tools, and there's actually only a few connections we need to make. We have our main connection up here, which is going to lead to our braking assemblies. We have the fill reservoir here, which we're going to use to fill it with brake fluid. And then at the back here, we're not going to be able to see them right now, but we're actually going to have 4 wires. Now, these 4 wires are pretty straightforward. We're going to have one for power, we're going to have one for ground, we're going to have one of them which is going to receive the signal from our tow vehicle. We're also going to have one that goes to our breakaway switch. So overall, super simple and straightforward. The installation shouldn't take you long at all. So one thing I do need to note is, in regards to compatibility, you may or may not have an issue with your brake controller, so we need to check this ahead of time. Now if you have a factory brake controller, those can sometimes create issues with our electric over hydraulic actuator. So you might want to be sure to check out the product page for the list of compatible vehicles. If yours isn't listed, there are going to be adapters available that allow you to utilize your factory brake controller. However, if you're going with the aftermarket route, there's going to be much more options to choose from. Just make sure you check with the manufacturer of the brake controller to be sure it's suitable for use with electric over hydraulic actuators. So this particular brake line kit here is going to come with all the lines and fittings we need to reach from the back of our disc braking assemblies up to the hydraulic actuator on our trailer. On each of our braking assemblies here, what I really like about it is it comes with the 4 flexible hoses in the areas where we need them, which are going to be directly from the disc brake caliper up to our T's. And the reason we want this part to be flexible is because when our axle travels and our suspension moves up and down, we don't want to kink the hard lines, which is why we have these perfect little soft lines here that are going to allow us to travel in movement that we need. So here you can see under the trailer, we have the rubber lines we were talking about earlier. We have it fed into our hard lines here with the unions. We have these nice brass fittings which are included with the kit. What these brass fittings mean is we're essentially not going to have to worry about any rust or corrosion issues, which we would normally with them being under the trailer here. And then we have it converted here to our hard lines, which again, this is all included with the kit. What I also like about this, you see we have these little clamps here They're going to allow us to secure our brake lines to the frame or wherever we choose, so we don't have to worry about the lines coming loose and dragging the ground. And we're going to follow our hard line over here. You can see we have our union block here, which is going to feed the braking assemblies from both sides. And then the output of that is going to go up to the hydraulic actuator with our kit here. Now this particular kit has 3/16" brake lines, and our main section here, which goes all the way up to the front of the trailer, is going to be 25 foot long. For our Jayco Pinnacle here, that's going to be plenty of length. So a couple things I really liked about this particular kit here is, number one, all of our lines are going to have a double flare on them. And what this means is it's going to have a really tight fit on our fittings. We're not going to have to worry as much with leaks. Now, I've had some other kits where the double flare fittings weren't as clean, and we did run into some issues tightening the fittings, chasing all the leaks down. So in regards to the different types of brake line kits you can purchase here, when making the switch from electric to hydraulic brakes, you really only have two options. You have the hard lines, which we have installed here. We also have flexible hoses. Now the flexible hoses are going to cost a little bit more than our hard lines. They are, however, going to be a little bit easier to install. However, the benefit of the hard lines here is they're going to be much more durable, which is why we chose those for this trailer. Special tools such as a brake line flare kit aren't going to be required. However, if you have one on hand, it is going to allow us for a little bit cleaner installation because it's going to allow us to trim the lines for a more precise fit. But if we don't have that, no worries, it's not required. We would simply just loop our excess line up and secure it out of the way. That's going to do it today for our look at the Hydrastar Electric Over Hydraulic Actuator Kit here for a tandem axle trailer.